Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. So today's video is going to be a comparison-ish type video on the silicone sponges. I, a really long time ago, bought the original Molly Cosmetics Silisponge, and then I figured, you know what, there's so many companies coming out with similar type products, especially on Amazon. You know, you can find anything on Amazon. So I went and I purchased one just to compare the two, because the Molly Cosmetics was always sold out, or if not, you would have to wait like a month before your specific order was shipped out. And once they came out with this whole sponge, like, it was just a craze. You know, everyone saw it everywhere, and I may be a little bit late on this, but I have it here and I actually have one to give away to you guys, but we'll just get to that at the end of the video. So for now, I'm going to jump right in. I had applied my makeup today, well, my foundation and my concealer. I wanted to test it out with my concealer as well. I just compared the two. Now this is the second time, no, this is the third time that I filmed this video. The first two times I hated them, because I figured out today less is more with these products. When you have a sponge, this one has been eaten by my daughter, embarrassing. When you blend your makeup out with a sponge, most of the time it absorbs the excess. Now with a silicone sponge, it will not absorb the excess, and that's pretty much one of the main points of it, is that it won't waste product. So when the first two times that I did this video, I just didn't like the footage. I would just use a lot of foundation and I hated the way it looked. Today it actually went a different route. So the key thing, before I mention anything else, is that less is more. So I'm going to share more thoughts at the end of the video. For right now, let's just jump right in to the demo. On the right side of my face, I guess your left, I'm going to be using the Amazon Dupe. And then on the left side of my face, I'm going to be using the actual Silisponge. So I'm just gonna go in with a tiny bit, just a tiny bit. I'm just going to spread the product by doing circular motions. Tapping to blend. You really don't need much foundation, and I think that's where I went wrong the first two times. My big ass forehead, and just a tiny bit extra for that redness. Again, I'm just gonna spread the product. It just feels really weird. It's different. It's just not something that I'm really used to. I did my eyebrows already, can't mess those up. I like this shape because it's really easy to like go around. And in the middle, tap to blend. And then I'm just gonna do it again over here. I always get some redness here and I always forget this area. So then a little bit over here, the excess, and my mustache. So far, I don't feel the same way as I did the previous two times that I did try to use this. I feel like the key thing to do is just use less foundation. I mean, look at the coverage. And I'm not just talking about the foundation itself, but it just looks very nice. Now I'm just going to use the actual original Silisponge, and I'm going to spread it out on this side. I only put a tiny bit of foundation, like the smallest amount. I don't feel like there's a difference in texture between these two. They're both, this one's a bit like firm and this one isn't, but I mean, you can hardly tell the difference. Oh, I just stabbed myself in the eye. And as you can tell, like, I'm barely putting any. I'm just putting in the areas where my redness is serious. I feel like my nose just needs a little bit more coverage, and I just haven't been able to swerve the little sponge around. So this is my face using these silicone sponges. I'm just gonna try it out with some concealer. I feel like the one I got from Amazon is going to work well just because of its shape. So let me just get some concealer and we'll see how it works. Since I used the Wet n Wild Photo Focus Foundation, I feel like it's only right to use the Wet n Wild Photo Focus Concealer. I don't know if you watched my previous videos. I don't know if I talked about it, but I had bought the shade light medium beige first, but it was very similar to my skin tone, so it didn't really brighten my under eyes. But I went out and bought the light ivory, so I'm going to use that today. So I'm just going to apply it right under my eyes. I'm just so used to a sponge. I guess this is just different. Getting in this area is a bit difficult, but depending on the sponge you have, it could be difficult with that too. I just feel like I shouldn't feel the need to want to go over it with a sponge. I feel like that just defeats the purpose. And that's like what I want to do so bad right now. Let me just do this eye, and this is going to be the Silisponge. Oh, this shape is pretty good too because of its like wave, this little Oh, to my surprise, I'm really liking the Silisponge much better. This is so weird. I feel like it looks fine. I'm resisting the urge to want to go over it with my sponge, my really beaten up sponge, but I think it looks fine. So I'm going to go ahead and put on the rest of my makeup. I will be right back with all my thoughts and my trial and errors the past 2 times, and I'll just talk more in depth about this. So as you guys can see, I was pleasantly surprised with this turnout. I thought that I was just going to hate it all over again. For whatever reason, the one I purchased on Amazon was a bit firmer, but that's fine. It didn't really make like a make or break situation. I didn't realize that I didn't mention the packaging, but the Silisponge came in this right here, and it has some instructions in the back. Use circular or back and forth movements to spread the product, tap to blend, to clean, use mild soap to clean, rinse in lukewarm water, and then it just goes in with the material and caution, you know, the standard stuff. And then with the Amazon one, I honestly think it just disappeared. I've had these things for such a long time, but it was just a basic white packaging, just like this one, similar, just not silver. Pretty much the same thing. This one was from Aurora Collections, I believe. I'll have it all linked down below, and it was, I believe, like $1 difference. The only thing is that these are always sold out. I'm not sure if that's the case as of this moment, but the Amazon one is, I think, like maybe $1 difference, $1 more inexpensive. And it's super easy to clean. That's definitely a pro. I'm taking a makeup wipe and I'm just cleaning it up, and that's it. That's all you have to do. Or if not, you could just, like the instructions said, run it under warm water. But for the purpose of this video, it's right in front of me, so I'm going to use this. Now, the only difference with the make of these is just the excess, I guess, plastic or covering around it. The little, I guess it just flares out a little bit more on the one from Amazon than the one from Molly Cosmetics. And the shape is different, but other than that, pretty much the same thing. And as far as how it applied with concealer, it actually really didn't make a difference because of the shape of this Silisponge. This has kind of, there's like so much hair everywhere. This has like a slanted edge, so you could really get over there. And I actually liked applying concealer better with the Silisponge than with this. But it wasn't, like I said, like a major difference. It was just a different shape. And with this one, you could get right in there as well and just use the long edge. It really, like, it's the same thing. So if you're upset that you didn't get your hands on the Silisponge when it was the biggest craze, I mean, there's so many companies that came out with them on Amazon, and I know some of them always look a bit shady, so I was really hesitant to buy this, but it's good to me. So when I originally purchased the Molly Cosmetics Silisponge. They have different options. They bought the buy two. So I have this one right here. This is the original Silisponge. I haven't opened this at all whatsoever. This is just how they came packaged. They were individually packaged in here and in one of those like bubble packaging to ship out, but this is how it came. So if you want to win this Silisponge, all you have to do is like this video, go over and follow me on Instagram. I will leave it right here, and just leave me a comment down below telling me your favorite way to apply makeup, whether you're into this whole silicone sponge or you just are your true OG beauty blender or the Real Technique sponge, just your favorite sponge. Just let me know your favorite way of applying makeup, whether it's a buffing brush. You get the gist. Of course, make sure that you are subscribed to this channel to join in on all the fun. Yeah, that's about it for this video. Oh, and just in case I get any questions, this choker is from Walmart. I was walking down the aisles and I was like, wow, this is really pretty. And I bought it and it was super cheap. So yeah, that's about it. I don't know if I missed anything, but if you have any questions, just ask it down below and I will be sure to answer you. This is it. It's done. Hope you guys liked it. I'll talk to you in my next one. Bye.